Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And this week in football, I am here today with my mate Gary, also known as Bossman, and it's curtains for Ole, as far as he's concerned. How you doing, Gary?
I'm all right.
Fantastic. And I'm Vintage Zam. Now, we have a lot to talk about regarding football. Now, if you remember, just a week ago, we were having international. So before we start talking about the craziness that was the Premier League this weekend, we're going to quickly bring up some of the internationals. Gary and I, when it comes to the national team, we both support the same national team, which is England. And England had a bit of a mixed week last week. Now, this time last Saturday, or last Sunday even, they played Andorra. I'm just trying to find that match, if I can see it here. There's a whole...
It's like
it was England, Hungary, so it's probably a good
it's up there.
There it is, England, Andorra.
So that's the score it should have been.
Yeah. I was expecting a result like that. I would, anything less than say 3-0, and I would have been a bit concerned. I mean, sometimes you can score 3 goals and just take your foot off the gas after that. But I'm glad they banged in 5. My boy Bukayo Saka of Arsenal scored a goal. A whole bunch of goals were scored by various players. I can't even remember too tough, but I am happy that we scored 5 goals. It was a bit of a makeshift England team as well. Tammy Abraham scored. I'm happy for him because we're getting a bit too reliant on Harry Kane, who, in my opinion, it's starting to phase out a little bit as a footballer because he doesn't seem to be as instrumental as he used to be. Go on.
But the thing is that he's at a club he doesn't want to play for. So I think he's checked out. I think he's checked out a bit mentally because again, when a guy's checked into a club, usually like the performances will reflect that. But the thing is, he plays for a club at the moment. He's literally said, "I don't want to play for you," because again, the ceiling for Tottenham. Again, nothing against Tottenham fans. If you're a Tottenham fan, this is nothing against you. I'm just being honest about your club.
Hey, bandits.
Your ceiling's there, and Harry Kane wants to get there. He wants to win Champions Leagues. He wants to win championships. So it'd be like City, Liverpool, Newcastle now, which we will talk about in a minute. Arsenal, Chelsea, United. Those are the teams, and maybe like some other teams that are thrown around in that mix, but those are the ones he's probably going to want to join if he wants to win a championship.
I agree. Just want to quickly mention to Bandit that if you're injured, your employer shouldn't fire you because of an injury. That's disgraceful. But let's just try and keep to the football talk, shall we? Okay.
But yeah, they did a really good result for England. I think that they did what they should have done, which is walk over the Andorrans. When we get to Hungary, I've got more to say, but apart from that, I mean, I'm trying to think of the other results that were really noteworthy.
That 5-0 against San Marino, I don't think Robert Lewandowski scored in that game. Let me just double check. Yeah, he didn't score in that game, which is hard to believe.
I think that's the first game he hasn't scored in quite a while.
Well, he does usually score for Bayern Munich, and he's a bit hit and miss for Poland. But that's because sometimes you can only be as good as your supporting cast, and he doesn't have a supporting cast of world-class players like he does for Bayern Munich. But, Poland banging 5, you're on the starting team and you don't score a goal. I'm kind of surprised by that. But against San Marino, you would have thought he would have banged in at least one.
He might not played long. I mean, against a team like that. So let's scroll up a bit, see if there's any results.
Yeah,
so Scotland won 3-2 over Israel. Okay.
That was a good game. Your boy McTominay scored in the dying minutes. Let me just keep scrolling up here.
Romania. I'm trying to see if there's any really shockers. I can't really see. No, not really.
North Macedonia beating Liechtenstein is arguably a shocker. I mean, they're a new nation, so to speak. They beat Liechtenstein 4-0.
So Sevilla beat Malta 4-0. That's decent. As I said, there's no really things that make me go, "Oh my god, that's awesome."
Ireland beating Azerbaijan 3-0. Yeah, it's about time Ireland needed a result. They're becoming a bit like Scotland, the old Scotland, that is. Lithuania beating Bulgaria is a bit of a shock, would you say?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sweden, Kosovo, Ukraine. Ukraine's a better team than Finland. There's no real shockers here.
Yeah, so let's go to next week. Because there's anything you really want to talk about. So So we've got Germany beat North Macedonia 4-0.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
6-0 for
Netherlands.
trounced them.
Absolutely.
Russia versus Slovenia. No, that's not a shock. Croatia seems to draw a lot against Slovakia. Iceland beat Liechtenstein 4-0. No. Wales beat Estonia 1-0. That's a good result for Wales.
Yeah.
Turkey won 2-1. Czech Republic won 2-0. Norway won 2-0. Finland won 2-0. No, that's fine. Scroll down. Scotland won 1-0 against Faroe Islands. They should have won more than that.
Yeah.
Israel won 2-1. That's a pretty decent result. You right there, Paul?
No, my bird just knocked over my phone. Okay, sorry about that.
Sorry, Paul. So Poland beat Albania. Well, that's not really a big shock. But I'm shocked it's 1-0. Who scored for Poland? Was it Lewandowski?
Let me find out. It was not Lewandowski. It was Karol Swiditsky. But at least they got the win. It's not. It's I don't know if that's a good or bad result for us. Probably a draw would have been better for us. But Albania's doing pretty good in the group we're in. 2-1, obviously. Yeah.
The England result. Let's talk about that. The thing is, before it kicked off, it literally kicked off between the Hungary fans and the stewards of the England
and the police.
England.
Yeah.
No, the stewards of England. So people who don't work for Wembley but work as like civilians, and then they contract them to come in. So
yeah, I've done that. I've done that type of work. Funnily enough, I've done stewarding. You know, you work for an agency. Oh, come on, bird! Please stop knocking my shit over. You work for an agency, and they get you to do events like football matches and concerts at Wembley Stadium, Wembley Arena, and stuff like that. So yeah, and it's not surprising. What I heard regarding the Hungary fans is that they started rioting pretty much when the moment the match kicked off, and the police were coming in with batons as well. But they were being racist towards the non-white stewards, and there's a fair few stewards.
Well, Hungary is a bit of a backwards right-wing nation.
Yeah.
So I mean, the thing is that was a bad result. But the thing is, I think that other things were on the England people's minds. Excuse me.
It did, obviously. Some of the stupidity in the crowd could have affected our results, but we had chances to beat them. Like, for a start, I want to say John Stones was excellent in that match. Absolutely excellent. He was probably the man of the match for me regarding the England players. Hello, Chris. Chris Ham, North Macedonia beating Azerbaijan isn't a shock. Okay, fair enough, dude. And don't forget they beat Germany anyway.
Away. Yeah. So, no, but you've got to remember that, I mean, I can't name one North Macedonian player.
Likewise.
I mean,
Germany's a shit team recently anyway. They need to go through a shuffle.
Rebuild, yeah. They need to do what England did, which is a rebuild. So Bulgaria, Northern Ireland, not really a shock. Andorra beat San Marino, that's not really a shock. Scroll down. Is there anything else that we need? I think there's only one. Portugal 5-0. I think that's it for.
Ronaldo's getting another hat trick. Did you see that overhead kick he did as well?
No.
Oh man, watch the highlights of that game. Unfortunately, he didn't score it, but he set himself up for a beautiful overhead kick. A cross came in, and he kicks when the ball comes in on the cross, he kicks the ball in the air, and then he sets himself up for an overhead, and the fucking keeper saves it. I was like, I can't believe it, man.
So I think next time is 11th of November. So
by the way, I just want to go back to England-Hungary. England for me were not good enough, in my opinion. I mean, we can blame other things and other scenarios, but I thought Jack Grealish wasted a few opportunities, which really pissed me off. Harry Kane just seems to be off the boil. Raheem Sterling was very hit and miss, and I was a little bit disappointed. And then next, Tammy Abraham comes on just to get injured, and then he's off. It could have been a much better result, and it wasn't, and that really, really upset me. But we should qualify. I'll look at the table in a second. But
we're 1 point ahead of Poland.
Yeah, which is unbelievable considering we haven't lost a fucking game.
We beat Poland twice.
Yeah,
no, we drew with them. We drew with them, and we beat them.
Yeah, we should be running away with this league, and we're not. Anyways,
I think Poland, apart from losing to us, haven't lost a game, so I think that's the problem.
Yeah,
I think they might have just drew like maybe 2 others, but I think it's the problem with this that we just drew too many games instead of winning them. And I think that's the problem with Southgate. And again, I'm not criticising Southgate because he's done an amazing job, but sometimes he can be a bit too negative in that he plays to not lose instead of playing to win. If that makes sense.
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah, and you saw that in certain matches like the Euro final. Like he was so conservative after we were 1-0 up, and he didn't want to make any significant changes. And Italy made some changes, and even though like it took penalties for them to beat us, they did try to make things happen. And while we were in a winning position, we didn't do jack fucking shit. We just tried to rest on our laurels. And you saw like Harry Kane was out of sorts, but he didn't have the bollocks to fucking change him. Anyways, let's quickly look at next week. Sorry, not next week, on the 11th of November, next month. I'm not sure if there's any interesting matches here. Germany versus Liechtenstein should be an easy win. Ireland versus Portugal could be a tasty match. But, England's playing Albania. Now, I'm not sure if you remember, Albania, when they played Poland, the Albanian fans were throwing fucking bottles and shit like that at the Polish players. Fucking ridiculous. Luckily for us that this game's at home, so I don't expect it to be too crazy. But there's no real standout matches amongst all of these games. Wales versus Belarus is not too interesting. Yeah, there's just a lot of like David and Goliath sort of contests going on here, or shit team versus shit team contests going on here. I expect Hungary versus San Marino. Hungary is a decent team with no real names. I'll give them that. Unfortunately, their fans are a bunch of fucking dickheads, and their government's a bunch of fucking dickheads. But the team itself is pretty decent.
Yeah, they're both right wing
bastards,
basically. Anyway, the stuff that we need to talk about in the Premier League, so I reckon we get to that because we've got something huge that we need to talk about.
All right, fine. Now, I'm very lucky that I don't have to talk about my team just yet. Let me just get rid of that. But we're playing tomorrow, Arsenal are. I never got to show the table, by the way, for the. But I'm not too fussed for the World Cup. For the World Cup qualified, but I'm not too fussed.
But before we talk about anything, let's talk about what happened over the week, which is that Newcastle United has gone from being basically one of the worst teams in the league to be literally bought by a multi-billionaire. Like literally has $100 billion in his
360 billion, I heard something like that's how much they're worth.
Something stupid, right? So this means that Newcastle United in the next, if they spend it wisely, I'm not saying if they just put Bell to the level like City did in their first couple of years, but if they actually invest it in good talent, could be contending for the title. Now again, they probably. I think Steve Bruce is a dead man walking, and I hate saying that, but you think about it. I mean, like the reason they lost today was because of that, because they know the players know he's not going to be around much longer. It's not going to be. It's like Casablanca. It may not be today, it may be tomorrow, but soon he's going to be out of the job because they're going to want to get in a high level manager like a Rafael Benitez, a Mancini, I'm trying to think of a guy like a Conte. A Conte, somebody like that who knows what it's like to.
Well, they're not going to get Rafael Benitez because they already had him at the club. I don't think he'll be the ideal person to bring. But I do know what you mean. I mean, but even then, like some of these managers, they're not used to relegation dogfights. Like they're good managers because they win things, but they never really start at the bottom. They already start winning from the get-go. I'm not sure if necessary it would be good to bring them in. I'll tell you, someone like a Brendan Rodgers would be a good manager for argument's sake. That's a better manager, like a stepping stone manager. You need somebody who will maybe get them to a decent position in the league and then you can go for the super manager, a top quality manager.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the actual games because I've got things to say about United.
Well, first of all, before we go to Manchester United, did you watch Newcastle versus Tottenham?
I didn't know.
I watched that game and Newcastle scored within 2 minutes of the game kicking off. It was 1-0 to Newcastle, but 15 minutes later, Tottenham equalised and they scored another goal a few minutes after that. And I think they might have scored their third goal before half time as well. Now, just before half time, maybe about 4 or 5 minutes before half time, a fan actually had a fucking heart attack in the crowd. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, and the game got called off because they had to bring on the doctors from the bench of both teams went to treat it because somebody in the crowd, regardless, they were like the nearest medical personnel to deal with the situation. So both doctors from both teams went over there. They had, I think every football club has a defibrillator nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were dealing with that. So my bird has been, you're pissing me off. She's really pissed. She's all over my wires. She's gonna get electrocuted. Get in the cage. All right.
But West Ham beating Everton. That's a good result for West Ham.
No, but sorry. Before I finish, I just want to say that Eric Dyer on the 88th minute scored an own goal and ended up being 3-2. But by that time, John Joe Shelby had already been sent off. It was a real shame because it looked like Newcastle were, under the new ownership, were finally going to go places, but it ended up being same old Newcastle. Yeah. Now going back to the rest of West Ham beating Everton. West Ham are doing very well in the league. We'll get to that in a second. We had the West London derby of Chelsea.
I thought Brentford might sneak that.
I thought it may be a draw at best, but I heard. I mean, Mendy. Excuse me. Mendy apparently was man of the match, and because he was stopping things. So it's not like Brentford didn't try, but they got a world-class goalkeeper at Chelsea, and when he decides to show up, he shows up. Manchester City beating Burnley 2-0.
No shock.
Not a shock, but I am expecting one of these lower league teams to be a banana skin for Manchester City, but they're not killing it in the league. Chelsea and Liverpool are doing slightly better than them at the moment. Let me just pull up the rest of the matches. We'll get to yours in a second.
Southampton beat Leeds, not shocked.
Southampton,
Liverpool absolutely walked over Watford.
This was a really good performance by Firmino, like the fox in the box centre forward performance. Like, just being in the right spot, the players get stretched, and he's just there just to. It's almost a disservice to say that he just tapped in 3 goals, but he kind of did, But you have to be there to do it. And
he was right place, right time.
Yeah, it was a good performance. If he's not there, there's nobody there to score the goals, and But Salah's got, people are waxing lyrical about Salah's goal. It's very good, but I can't handle the fact that people are going on like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's a very good goal. Don't get me wrong. He tricks a few.
Watch it.
He does a bit of skill, tricks a few players, stuff like that, and then tucks it in. And by the way, Salah had a great game still. Like, he set up Mane for the first goal. His outside of the boot swerve pass was exquisite. That was for me the highlight of the game. His pass for Mane to score the first goal. But Liverpool are just running away with it regarding goals. They're banging in goals all the time. That was the third away performance where they scored more, successive away performance where they scored 3 goals or more. So excellent result for them. Norwich, Brighton 0-0. That's the second draw in a row for Brighton. And you know what? I think Brighton would have expected 3 points against Norwich because Norwich is shit.
But I mean, seeing that though, I mean, I think my prediction of a few weeks ago ain't that far off. That Norwich are going for Sunderland's all-time lowest points score title. They're going to get very close to it if they don't actually beat it.
I expected better from Brighton in that game. I expected Brighton to beat Norwich, but Brighton are doing very well this season, and they were the better team than Arsenal when we played them 2 weeks ago. So I expected better from them, but that didn't happen. Now this was a comeback from Wolves, Aston Villa versus Wolves. Aston Villa were 2-0 up. This is a derby as well. This was also at Villa Park. Villa were 2-0 up, and then Wolves come back. I mean, some of the goals, the last goal, the third goal, was very lucky. It was a deflection which sent Martinez the wrong way. But Martinez as a keeper, I was a bit concerned he let in 3 goals, but but I've always rated Martinez. But after watching the game, he had no chance with any of the goals, no chance at all. Like the defenders should have done a lot better. But now we're going to go to your team, mate. Leicester City versus Manchester United. We're going to let it off your chest.
Okay, so this is the first game we've lost away. I think it's inside of like a year and a bit.
Really?
Yeah. It's like I think we were beaten away from home last season. So this is the first.
Amazing.
I think this is the start. I'll look at how many games it is. Man United away game unbeaten. Right. So yeah. So we went. Yeah. So we had a record of 29 games unbeaten away. That was our record, 29 games away from home, not be unbeaten.
Okay.
So this broke that. And the thing is that, again, I like Ole. Again, he's a legend. He's a great guy. Seems like a nice guy. But the thing is that he stands too flat on playing a certain way. And the thing is that he was he was a great self after Mourinho. Because Mourinho didn't really work for us. But now it just seems like he can't take the team any further. Now, the thing is that he's brought some good talent in. He's brought Ronaldo, he's brought Cavani, he's brought Jadon Sancho. But he doesn't seem to get the best out of these players.
I think Varane hasn't been that great for you guys personally. I expected better from Varane. I think he's kind of gone under the radar a little bit, but I think he's been average at best for you guys this season. What do you think?
Well, I think Varane's been a good addition.
He's a good signing. He's won everything. He's fucking won everything. Yeah, for whether for a big club or country. But I just don't think he's been that good for Man United. That's just my opinion.
No, he's been all right.
But Harry Maguire was the culprit in yesterday's game against Leicester. Like he had a pass from De Gea. Now, don't get me wrong, that pass from De Gea could have been better. At the same time, I think Harry Maguire was a bit too casual in receiving the pass, and he tried to let the ball come to him instead of him going to the ball. And because of that, Leicester intercepted. And then Tielemans scores a fucking bizarre goal to make it 1-1. You get another go. You go into the lead again under Rashford. And as an England fan, it's very good to see Rashford back. And plus, Rashford is one of those guys that even if you support Liverpool and Manchester City, you can't help but admire Rashford for what he is as a human being. So I'm very happy to see Rashford back and doing his thing. But Leicester then equalise again. And De Gea has saved you guys a few times this season. He's been player of the season recently, I believe, for you guys as well. Mm-hmm. And you can't keep relying on him to keep bailing you out, in my opinion. And you've got Ronaldo now. It's not like you haven't got striking options. You've got loads. Even if some of them are better than others, like, for instance, like Martial's not the best striking option, but you've got better striking options than that. Your creativity in midfield is really Bruno Fernandes. Jadon Sancho hasn't really hit the ground running, and people are crying out for defensive midfielders in your team. But you should still have enough to score more than to beat a team like fucking Leicester, who are doing shit this season. And that was a shocker. When I saw that result, my fucking mouth hit the floor, man. That was not a result I expected to fucking see yesterday. I expected you guys to get a win, and you didn't. And I'm shocked, absolutely shocked that Ole's still at the wheel.
I'm not, because the thing is, who's going to take over? Because the thing is that you think because the thing is that who could get Conte?
Conte would be ideal. Conte would be ideal. He could it's not like you guys are languishing at the bottom of the league or anything. He could turn you guys around and still win the fucking league. You're in the Champions League, for fuck's sake, too. You know, and you haven't got the League Cup to hinder you, so you can make the most. It's not like you guys got really good fucking players in your team, really good fucking players. Mm-hmm. He can do some magic with those guys for sure.
Yeah.
You just need a manager who's capable of doing that, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it goes to show how important a decent manager is, because with all the fucking players you got, and you got some amazing fucking players, you're not winning games. You know?
It's because Ollie can't get the best of him. He can't get the best of Sancho. He plays him on the wrong wing. He can't get the best out of Flaming. He plays one guy up front who's usually like Ronaldo. And again, Ronaldo needs somebody to work off. Because as good as he is,
he's doing that with Bruno, no?
Yeah, but Bruno doesn't do what Cantona used to do, which is to just play off of it. Bruno likes to roll, which is fair enough. That's what he does. But again, he's not like. But again, like we don't make smart choices with our tactics. And the thing is, Jadon Sancho is a great talent, and we're not using him correctly. We've got all this talent, and we're not using. Again, the thing is, we should get rid of Paul Pogba. The guy doesn't want to play for us. It's his choice if he doesn't want to play for us.
He's too inconsistent now. I think as good as he can be, his inconsistency means that, you know what, a team like Manchester United need to get rid of him. It was a stupid thing to do anyway. You guys get rid of him for next to nothing, and then you buy him back for 100 million. You know, you almost felt you guys were almost in a position where you had to fucking keep playing him to justify your pay for him. But now you've had him at the club for about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's had his time, and you guys are not doing anything. You really aren't. You know, like you need a midfielder who's not going to only show up now and again. You need a more consistent midfielder. Consistency seems to be one of the major issues with a lot of the big club when it comes to big game players. They're just not consistent enough. And Paul Pogba definitely fits in that category. Anyone else you get rid? I'll get rid of what's his face? Wan-Bissaka. I think Wan-Bissaka is not good enough, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He's an average right back. You bought the guy from fucking Crystal Palace, and don't get me wrong, you can buy people from smaller clubs who can turn out to be brilliant. Wan-Bissaka is not one of them. He is just not good enough. I think he cost you too many goals, you know? What do you think?
Agree.
Yeah? Because that team you had yesterday was a good team, dude. You know, you had a really good team.
We'll click on the thing and look at the team. Click on the actual thing and see we can see what the players, the team was.
Let's have a look.
Go down.
The lineups.
Yeah, there you go. So we had Mason Greenwood on the bloody right when the Jadon Sancho should be there. Switching for a start.
Yeah, the inverted striker shit is what people like nowadays. So inverted wingers. I'm not a fan. I mean, I don't mind it if that's how certain wingers want to play.
But Jadon Sancho played on the right for bloody for Dortmund, and he was superb for them.
Yeah, and that's how you should be. Just sometimes because you're right footed shouldn't mean you should play on the left and vice versa. Mason Green was left footed, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he tried to do that, but Jadon Sancho needs to play on the right, and
that's how we'll get the best
he's so much better. You know, he'd be. You know, Ronaldo is so good with his head. Cross the fucking ball in, and you'll get fucking joy from Ronaldo up front. I swear to God. You know what I mean? You know, and my birds all. Can you hear her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's being all like.
So I think is that we've got Matic, who is good, but again I don't get why he's there. We've got, as I said, I mean, the thing is that you look at that midfield, that midfield's pretty decent if you look at it on paper. But again, that guy should be on that side. That Sancho should be on that side. Greenwood should be on that side. Pogba should be in the centre somewhere, and should be dripping over. And there should be two strikers. This one striker stuff annoys the piss out of me.
Yeah, I mean, it is common now to have one striker, so you can have like a 5-man midfield, but then you have like attacking midfielders which can then support the striker. So it's like a hybrid formation. I want to quickly look at what Leicester City did. Leicester City went with 2 strikers. They played.
I did one. I wonder why.
They played a 3-4-1-2, and Vardy.
See that guy could go. That guy number 10, Jay Manson, I think.
James Maddison.
Yeah, could go backwards. He could go forwards. And he could.
Tielemans is a great player, man. Like he's really fucking good, and like even Soyuncu, like their fucking defender, he was a centre half in that formation, by the way. He scored as well. I think one of their substitutes scored, as well, because it's 4 goals. But yeah, look, Johnny Evans got an assist. Johnny Evans got an assist, for fuck's sake. So one centre half scored a goal. One centre half got an assist. Look at your players.
Bloody ridiculous.
You got yellow cards all over the place. Sancho did get an assist, by the way. Or does that mean assist?
I think that.
Oh, sorry, assist. No, it doesn't. I don't think it means assist.
I think they were taken off.
Yeah. So my bad. I apologize. I don't understand how this fucking works sometimes, but nevertheless, like something has to give in your team. Maguire was really bad. When Maguire can make Lindelof look like a world-class player, but Lindelof got an assist. I remember he set up what's his face, Marcus Rashford with a long ball from the back, and he did that, and he looked great. Maguire looked awful, absolutely awful. He was coming back from injury, and it looks like Varane might have been injured, which is why he's not there. But you got Diogo Dalot. Juan Mata still plays for you guys.
Yep.
You got Eric Bailly as well, man. Donny van der Beek, he doesn't fucking do shit. Yeah.
We bought him, but we don't do anything with him.
Yeah.
As I said, the thing is that there's a lot of people who play Championship Manager who go, I could do a better job than that. It's like, no, you can't. And the thing is, he was doing a good job. The thing is that now the players have stopped playing for him, and I don't know why. But if he's lost that locker room, he needs to go. I hate seeing that.
No, I totally agree. I'm not saying I don't think he's lost the locker room. I do think he's just not good enough. And I don't think I think he's tactically in the wrong place. Like the fact that he's not.
Does that play Jadon Sancho a right winger on the bloody left? It's ridiculous. So,
like, you got to look at your subs, man. You don't have what's his face either. The Uruguayan player, Edison Cavani. He's not there.
Nope. And the thing is that do you know what he did? He broke the United record of scoring off the bench. That was previously sold by him, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah, I remember. I always knew him as a super sub. I remember, but still, like, you got some players. By the way, I think Dean Henderson's not good enough. He hasn't been setting the world alight as a goalkeeper, in my opinion.
But the thing is that, like, I could see us being pure roll steamroller if we play something like a Liverpool or a City. If we play them like we have recently. They're going to steamroll us, and that's not going to be their fault. That's going to be ours.
Yeah.
See,
and you're playing Liverpool next week.
Exactly. They'll steamroll us if we play like that.
Let's pull it up, by the way.
And by the way,
yeah,
it's not even going to be competitive. It's going to do what we'll think. Do you know that thing of it's not upsetting. It's sad. It's going to be sad. I mean, United are sixth.
Yeah, it could be worse, but yeah, Tottenham up to 5th. They won 3 matches, then they lost 3 matches, then they won 2 matches, and they're now up to fucking 5th.
Yeah. Well, Chelsea are leading. Liverpool are just behind them. The City are just behind them.
Damn, Arsenal. We can't even break into. We can't even break in. We can go up to 9th at best if we beat Crystal Palace tomorrow, and we're playing Crystal Palace at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, it's okay. I'm a bit pissed off with my club as well. Like, we should be doing better than we are at this particular moment, but we're not. And let's have a quick look at the matches for next week. So Friday is amazing. We're playing on Monday and then we're playing on Friday.
So you played Aston Villa.
Yeah, but what the fuck? We're playing Monday then Friday. That's like within a week. We're playing it. It's just so stupid.
Chelsea are going to play their City. Chelsea fans, if you do not win that, you're in trouble.
Well, look, there's a banana skin every season for every team. Let's just hope for Chelsea it's Norwich City. Crystal Palace are playing Newcastle. This is going to be a big game for both clubs because hopefully Arsenal will beat Palace tomorrow. And then this game will mean that Crystal Palace and Newcastle will be a 6-pointer. Leeds versus Wolves. Wolves seem to be a little bit rejuvenated. They won their last couple of games.
Yeah.
So I expect Wolves to win this game even though they're away from home.
Great.
Everton versus Watford. Everton need a win. Great. Watford need a win. I mean, they just got under Claudio Ranieri's rule. Their first match, they got smashed 5-0. Now, a lot of people will give Ranieri a pass. His first match, needs to get used to the team. Liverpool are a great team and all of that, but to be beaten 5-0 at home, whoever the opposition may be.
But against Liverpool, I don't think there's really much of a change.
Even if it's against Liverpool, man, like you can't be getting beaten that many goals at home, But still, Southampton versus Burnley, that's another 6-pointer. Brighton versus Man City, this could be an interesting game because I said Brighton are doing very well this season. And Man City have to go all the way there. We'll see how Man City fare against Brighton. West Ham versus Tottenham, London derby. Both these teams hate each other.
I reckon Tottenham would that.
You think? West Ham are doing really well, man. West Ham are doing really well this season.
I don't know. I just said I'm not going to put money on it, but I'd say they're probably going to. I reckon Tottenham will just nick it. Brentford against Leicester City, I reckon Brentford will have that because I think Brentford are a decent side. Yeah, as I said, United against Liverpool.
That's the big match of the week. Big match of the week.
Yeah, as I said, again, as a United fan, I'm going to say this right now. United are going to get steamrolled if we play like we did on Saturday. Because Liverpool are not Leicester City. They will not concede. And they will just attack. And they'll just attack. And if we play like that, this could be like a 6-0. This could be a 7-0. I warn you now. And I warn you now. If this is more than 4-0 to Liverpool, I'm going to come in here next week and have a rant about how bad they are.
Honestly, if Liverpool destroy Man United at home, that's got to be Ole out. That's got to be Ole out. I don't even think the funny thing is I don't think Man United owners are even looking at a successor, which is the scary thing. There's no rumors, is there? There's no rumors of a successor to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. No. So even if you did lose, theoretically it should be Ole out. But I mean, if you got spanked at home, like when Tottenham beat you guys 6-1 for fuck's sake, it's capable. Let's have a quick look at the table again.
So Liverpool are really
Brighton are fourth, man. Fourth.
And then Brighton are 4 points behind top. So I mean, if Brighton, Brighton are doing so well for themselves. It's not even funny.
Yeah, but they have dropped points with 3 draws in the last 3 games.
And they should have been
still fourth,
Norwich.
by the way. They got a loss in that in amongst those results as well. But nevertheless, they're still fourth. And
look at City. Win, drew, win. So I think the only game they've lost was against thingy. Was against
Tottenham.
against Tottenham at the start of the season. Apart from that, I think they've either drew or won every single game they played.
Everton are kind of dropping mid-table-ish now.
After that sort of strike.
They lost their last game. They drew previous, but that was against you guys, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a draw against you guys. It was a good result. They were 1-0 down.
As I said,
this is always going to be Everton, in my opinion. This is where Everton are always, like mid-table, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said, the thing is that Liverpool could win it if they start to beat the upper tier teams. Because the thing is, they drew against City. I think they drew against Chelsea as well. And I think, as I said, they'll probably beat United. I'll be very surprised if they don't. If United win that, I'll be shocked. Because I think Liverpool haven't really lost the game this season, have they?
Is this the rejuvenation of Leicester City? Are they going to start climbing now? I don't know. Aston Villa have become a bit like pretenders, in my opinion. But they lost the game they lost against Wolves was down to their own doing to a degree. They let Wolves back in. You're 2-0 up, for fuck's sake. You should win that game. But Wolves, look at Wolves, man. Look at Wolves. They're killing it. Yeah, they had a bit of a shitty start to the season. They got 4 losses there. But now they've got 4 wins. They're absolutely killing it, Wolves. Arsenal don't look too bad either, but we have to yet play Crystal Palace, and that'll be tomorrow.
So scroll down. I want to see how many points Norwich City have. 2. 2 points out of.
And they're playing Chelsea, top versus bottom.
So look at that. Lost, 2 draws. They've not won a single game. I think even Sunderland, when they got 11 points, won, I think, a game.
Yeah.
And look where Newcastle are. All that money, and that's where the money are.
Well, they haven't invested any of that money yet.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be spending quite a lot in the transfer.
That loss against Spurs is a real eye opener for the owners, because even though they had a little boost, a morale boost, so to speak, from these new owners coming in, that loss against Spurs, that's really going to send them crashing back down to earth, man. And Burnley ain't done shit either, man. They haven't won a fucking game either. I'm not rating Burnley at all this season. I said before, Burnley had given Sean Dyche a new contract. That's probably the worst thing they've done. He's become a bit too tried and tested, Sean Dyche. He's in my opinion, I think he's overstayed his welcome at Burnley, and Burnley need to move on and show the Sean Dyche. He needs to find a new club. Like a team like Crystal Palace would have been a sideways step, but it would have been the right direction for him before Vieira jumped there. That would have been an ideal team for him to join. But no, he missed out on that. And I think, Burnley are going down. Newcastle are going to, if Newcastle go down with billionaire owners, that would be hilarious, man. That would be fucking hilarious.
Well, that's why I reckon in the temporary transfer window, they're going to get new players.
So, top goal scorer, Jamie Vardy, quietly up there with 7 goals. I mean, the guy he's like a fine wine, and he's like 34 years old now.
Salah as well. People have always said to me, "Hey, Salah's overrated." I went, "I don't think so."
Salah overrated?
Yeah, people keep telling me that, and I keep going.
I hear that from some people. I don't necessarily hear about Salah being overrated, but I do think Salah doesn't get enough credit. You know what I mean?
For being as heavily as he is.
Yeah, I think because he's Egyptian, and I think that plays a part in it as well. I also think people are just expecting Salah just to turn shit overnight and just not be the footballer that he currently is at this moment in time. Anyway, Mikel Antonio is doing okay for West Ham. I mean, they're up there for a reason, because they're not just getting goals from Mohamed Salah. Bruno Fernandes, amid saying something. You know what I mean?
He does take our penalty, so that's
yeah, good point. Good point. Ismail Sarr of Watford is up there with 5. Mason Greenwood 5. Neil Maupay's got 5 as well. But then again, so I apologise. He's 5th. They're 5th. No, I apologise. Bruno Fernandes has got 4 goals. Ismail Sarr's got 4 goals. Mason Greenwood with 4 goals. Maupay with 4 goals. Firmino banged in a hat trick today or yesterday. So
who did assist?
And Son Heung-min or Heung-min Song, how you want to look at it, because the Koreans like to go with their surname first. Can you hear that noise? That's my bird. Yeah, sorry about that.
Scroll down to assist. It's usually the assist. So Paul Pogba's leaving
with 7. Wow, that's pretty good. I remember that one game he got a hat trick of assists, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what game it was, but you won 4-0 or something like that.
I think that was like Leeds, or it was like somewhere like that. It was either Leeds or it was like who was it? No, it was a Leeds or something like that. Anyway, yeah.
Decore's got 4. Gabriel Jesus, and I look at him as a striker's got 4. Mohamed Salah, people call him a selfish player. I still think he is, but he got 4, and that assist he got the other day in that 5-0 destruction of Watford. The assist he got for Sadio Mane was world class. Alan St-Maximin, he's a bit of a skill merchant. He got 3 assists. Mateo Kovacic of Chelsea, but under the radar, I think he's got 3 assists. And Mikel Antonio not only scoring the goals, but he's also getting the assists as well. Yellow cards. I'm not sure if I can get this name right. Emmanuel Bonaventura. 4 yellows. Joel Veltman, 4 yellows. Oliver Skip, 4 yellows. And Oliver Skip's coming off the fucking bench. Paul Pogba, 4 yellows. Decore, 4 yellows. Laporte, 3. But then again, centre halves, I'm not too fussed about. Declan Rice, 3. That doesn't really matter too much. Red cards. Okay, Granit Xhaka would obviously be in this list. John Joe Shelby, yeah, I mean, the guy looks like a nutcase. Mikel Antonio, I think his red card was a bit of, I remember, I think it was a bit unlucky, his red card. Mm-hmm. Reece James has also got an unlucky one too. But, yeah, that's... Can't stop yawning, I do apologise. Yeah, that is how it is at the moment. Fan stable after Newcastle Tottenham game halted because of a medical emergency. Yeah. As I said, a particular player, he got had a cardiac arrest or a heart attack during the course of that game. So yeah, it kind of harken memories of Christian Eriksen when he got had like a cardiac arrest or something like that. Yeah, when Denmark were playing, but it's good to see in a way that they kind of stopped the game to deal with that. Like I said, the medical staff from both those teams, they were there as they were the most senior medical staff available at the time.
Yeah.
So that's why probably they stopped the game as well. So I'm not surprised they continued afterwards, though.
Okay, so what do you expect to happen next week? Because again, I expect what will happen is Steve Bruce's needs to be on the chopping block. I didn't hear about that. You heard about the stand that collapsed in Holland today? No, I didn't hear about that. Do you know during distance details, Chris?
Let me see if I can find something.
I'll talk about. So basically, I think Steve Bruce's job is going to be under threat, and I think that Newcastle will start losing games because of it. And I think that Ollie, as much as I love him, will his seat will start to get very hot if we do not improve. If we lose against Liverpool and we lose like another couple of matches, that seat will become untenable and he'll have to go. And I hate saying that because I love Lowy, but it's one of those things where we're not playing as well as we could do. And the thing is, we're doing stupid things that we could not. I mean, we should be doing, like as I said, playing Flaming Jadon Sancho on the left when he's a right winger is stupid. And he's totally awesome as a right winger. he cuts inside. He runs the ball in. He led like Dortmund with assists last year. I don't think he's really had an assist this year really.
Yeah, you're not getting the best out of him.
Right,
let's have a quick look at this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the stand collapses as bouncing fans punch down while applauding team. Part of a stadium
Jesus Christ
collapsed at an Eredivisie match between Vitesse and NEC on Sunday. It is currently unknown whether any of the supporters in the stand have been injured. A scary incident unfolded when
Jesus Christ. Good. Thank God it wasn't one of the lads.
Vitesse and NEC Nijmegen on Sunday afternoon. NEC hosted Vitesse at the Goffert Stadium in an Eredivisie clash which ended 1-0 in favor of the away side, whose players proceeded to celebrate in front of the fans after the full-time whistle. But as the Vitesse fans in the away end jumped up and down, the stand appeared to wobble before giving way completely and shockingly sent them tumbling down. The Vitesse players were visibly stunned for a brief moment at what had unfolded in front of them before resuming their celebrations. The away side's win comes following a 16th minute goal from Nikolai Bodin.
All right, fuck this. I want to see some actual footage of the
collapsed.
Yeah.
You might have to filter it.
Hold on, maybe this one. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Lijkt dat inderdaad niemand wel even belangrijk nog. Want dat is, ja,
holy shit.
Ja,
holy shit.
Fucking hell. Thank God though it was hurt.
Let's watch that again, shall we?
Inderdaad, het erop lijkt dat inderdaad niemand wel even belangrijk nog. Want dat is, ja, dit is
Jesus.
Ja,
oh, look at the players. Look at the players, by the way. Look at the players. They're celebrating with the players. Look at the players.
Ja, dit is Hosse.
Oh, wow. Look at the fans, though. There. Yeah, we're all right. Luckily, no one got hurt.
Thank God it wasn't like the fans like on the top or something like that. He really could have got hurt with that, something like that. God damn it.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Oh, bloody hellfire.
Vitesse fans celebrating their goal at I can't say that team's name and give away apparently no serious injuries, but a few shakings. They took it well.
Did you win? I don't know. Is that how I pronounce it?
Well, these stadiums, you need more like you can just see that it's an old, rusty, old fucking rickety stadium by the looks of things, held together by fucking string and fucking chewing gum, and this is like you got people bouncing around over the years. It's going to take its toll, and it finally did, and it needs some updating, big time,
definitely,
big time. But yeah, that was an interesting way to end this stream, I think. Now we're going to be back next week, obviously talking more this week in football. We'll have Arsenal beaten Crystal Palace tomorrow. Hopefully so. We'll have beaten Aston Villa this Friday. Hopefully so. We'll have Liverpool and Manchester United.
I think that's bad. I think that's bad fixture making, by the way. Having you play
terrible.
Play what 5 days separated from each other.
In a way, I can forgive the Monday game because it's a London derby, so there's not much travelling needs to be done. I know it's North London versus South London, but still, it's within the city of London. You can use the underground, all of that shit. You can get from one part of London to the other for that game. But Aston Villa versus versus Arsenal is on a Friday night, and that's not well fixed. That's not a suited game because Birmingham is like over 100 miles away. And you're asking fans then to travel to that game after work and stuff like that. Is that game? Sorry, is that game? Where is it? Let me find it. Sorry, I apologize. It's at the Emirates. So for Brummy fans, for Villa fans, they have to travel 100 miles down to London. Luckily, it's North London. You can, but still, nevertheless. It's not ideal. Like you need to make if you're going to do a game on a Friday or a Monday, those games need to be as local as possible.
Yeah.
You know, like Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. But this is, and plus, why the fuck are you making it play on Monday then Friday? What the hell is that? Come on, you know what I mean? Put Chelsea on a Friday against Norwich, you know. Or actually, no, I'll take that back. What game would be ideal? Maybe West Ham's. You know, that's a television game. Apart from West Ham Spurs, or maybe even Man United Liverpool. Man United Liverpool would be a great Friday night match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but even then, you know, even they're 60 miles apart. It's not ideal. There's not many games here really that particular week. I mean, Leeds and Wolves are not close to each other. Everton, Watford's not close to each other. Southampton, Burnley ain't close to each other. Brighton, Man City's not close to each other.
No.
Brentford, Leicester City are not close to each other. It's really West Ham, Tottenham, possibly Man United, Liverpool. You know, yeah. I mean, everything else is just fucking miles apart. But fuck making us play on a Friday. Just put us on a Saturday like everyone else. You know, it's so stupid. They just want to get some television revenue any way they can, and it really fucking pisses me off. But yeah, hopefully next week we will have beaten both Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, and I'll be very happy thinking that we're getting closer to the top of the league. And obviously, top half of the league is what I'm looking at. You have a massive game against Liverpool. You know, it's a huge game. Liverpool are favourites for that game. You know that. Even with Ronaldo in your team. You know, but I wouldn't be surprised if you got a win. Football's such a crazy game.
I would.
But football's such a crazy game, man.
Liverpool's a better team, but we are.
Do you remember that? Yeah, but remember, like Manchester City at one are a better team than you guys, and they were winning 2-0, and then fucking Paul Pogba bangs in a couple of goals, you know, out of nowhere, and you end up winning 3-2, I believe, you know, or something like that. Like he just was like at the Etihad as well. It was like unbelievable, you know. Like football is just such a strange game. But hopefully, I'm hoping. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm hoping you guys beat them for the sake of the league. You know.
No, as I said, if they play like they did on Saturday, Liverpool will steamroll them.
Yeah.
And I said, and if they, as I said, and I've said that now, and I say it again, if they lose by more than 3-0, I'm going to come on here and do a run.
Well, you're lucky. You're lucky that it's going to be Mo Salah versus Luke Shaw, and not Mo Salah versus Wan-Bissaka. But I think Wan-Bissaka is going to have his handful with Sadio Mane. I don't think Sadio Mane's got the same sort of tricky movement as Mo Salah does. But Sadio Mane is definitely a handful as well. And then Firmino, obviously, as well, drawing in possibly Varane and Harry Maguire. Lindelof hasn't been too bad this season, in my opinion. He hasn't been the worst defender. Like I said, I think Varane has been a lot worse this season, but he's been overshadowed by other incidences. And now with Harry Maguire doing the fuck ups in the last game, he's going to be overshadowed even more. We'll see what defense you pull out next week. It's going to be interesting how you perform against Liverpool, but that's a must-win game in my opinion. You know, that's a must-win game. But yeah, that's next weekend. This week in football, you got any European games coming up this week as well? Or is it just?
I'm not sure.
Let me have a quick look. UEFA. Yeah, it's this week. You got games. So
I can't see us winning any games in the Champions League.
Let me pull it up. Okay, so Besiktas versus Sporting, Club Brugge versus Man City, Shakhtar Donetsk versus Real Madrid, PSG versus Leipzig, Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool. That's going to be an interesting game. Inter Milan versus Sheriff. This is the same Sheriff that beat fucking Real Madrid. Ajax versus Dortmund, Porto versus Milan, Salzburg versus Wolves, Lille versus Sevilla, Man United versus Atalanta. I mean, your fans will expect you to win that game. You know, you're playing at home against a second-rate. I don't want to say a second-rate sounds a bit of a disservice, but they're not the most renowned Italian team at Atalanta. So you know, Man United on paper or whatever era, we should be beating them. Zenit versus Juventus, Benfica versus Bayern, Chelsea versus Malmo, and Young Boys versus Villarreal. Yep. So you've got that to look forward to midweek, as well as whatever UEFA Cup games are coming up. But we'll talk about that next week on This Week is Football, because Arsenal are not in any UEFA Cup games, so I don't give a fuck. But we will talk about it next week in This Week in Football. And we'll also talk about if, you know, Man United's, performances. I think that's why we're playing on Friday as well, because we're not playing in any European games. And so it's you know, it gets revenue, doesn't it? Arsenal, you know, we're still a recognized team regardless of how shit we are. So it can sell tickets, and you know, there's no excuse of our players being tired. You know,
and television as well.
Say again?
Television as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you sell revenue to the television, and there's no excuse about players being tired, because neither Villa or Arsenal are in any European fixtures or cup fixtures, which are coming this week. We're in the League Cup still, but there's no League Cup this week. So yeah, that's how it goes. All right then, mate. So I'll see you next week for that. Tomorrow, we got anything going?
Nope. Not I could think of.
Well, it is going to be a bit quiet a little bit, because certain shows are finishing before new shows commence, as we know here at NerdTube. Even though we are talking football today, we do talk about mainly nerdy shit like the DC multiverse universe, the MCU universe, multiverse, all of that bollocks, Star Trek, Star Wars, and everything in between. So please follow us for anything that pops up, anything new that comes out. We'll fucking make sure, if it's relevant and worthy, we'll fucking put something out there. Like, there is a very good reaction to this Robin Williams footage by a guy called Jamie Costa, done by our friend Cousin Chito. And I've actually done a trailer reaction to Chuck Steele and the Trampires and the Night of the Trampires. I've kind of butchered that, but yeah, have a look at that. That film is actually made by Robbie. It's been produced by Robbie Lyle, the guy who does Arsenal Fan TV. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of any of our stuff. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you never fucking heard of, and we'll see you cunts later. Bye.
Bye.